Hi, I'm Doug Ward, back again um, for part two of the demo of the do-it-yourself website making engine software. Um, as you can see, we're looking at the sign-in screen for my piece of software. Um, Let me catch you up a little bit with what's been going on. In the first video on this series, I talked about what product in the pre-digital age meant and how products by two people I knew personally caught two different waves of social change. Now, social change really does come in waves. Investors understand this. And the savvy ones are just like surfers, waiting, sitting out there on their boards, looking at the horizon, waiting for the next big wave to come, and so they can catch it. The way they catch it is they invest in things that might be game changers, I guess you'd say. So I think I have a game changer here. I mean, do you think most guys might shy away from making statements like that? But I really do. I've worked on it 10 years. It's not tethered to any platform, so it doesn't have the same feel or the same business as usual way of approaching websites as some of the competition. In addition, it has features of immediacy and instant gratification that are totally lacking in its primary market, which is that of do-it-yourself website builders. And the world is still run on a website making standard. I mean, Facebook is a website making machine. There's 2 billion kids in the world under the age of 12 that are that know about the internet and the web and are going to aspire to have a piece of that action. And even the adults in my generation still consider a web page to be a super classy way of presenting themselves. I mean, you can belong to as many social organizations as you need to belong to, but you always want to put a link to your website. And then there's, of course, a huge, huge market for people that want to, living out in rural areas or in India, that want to sell things. And if they only had a website, they could sell their fine, highly crafted bamboo flute, which their neighbors all have, but nobody else in the world knows about. I mean, the potential market for a very fast website making engine that allows real uneducated people to make a website is, I mean, that's a social change. That's a huge social change. I understand Google's working on it in India right now, and I want those guys to prick up their ears, because look what I've got here, guys. All right, let's get started with the demo. I promised a demo on part two. We're actually here at the sign-in page, which is the second thing you see, because first you go to the introductory page where you are introduced to making a gallery and a website. So we're going to go to that page first. Here it is. This is a kind of a crude veneer over the website engine that I've made myself. I'm not especially a great designer. I tend to have old-fashioned ideas about how pages should look and everything, but that doesn't make much difference. it can be redesigned to make it look like super cool white apple or super dark. The neat thing about the engine that we're going to visit is that it can make anything into anything. Make a web page into any kind of design with the push of a button. All right, here we go. It's asking for a name for our gallery. Every website that comes to this particular version of the engine gets an image gallery, which is a series of thumbnails and images that go in the middle of the web page. So we're going to start by naming it by the gallery, which becomes their ID. So I'm going to call this Test 19. Since this is the 19th time I've gone through this. Okay. Submit. Server is thinking, making stuff, setting up databases and so forth. And pretty soon we ought to see the picture coming up. Oh, wait a minute, there's no picture to come up because we haven't uploaded a picture yet. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself here. It says click browse to select an image and then upload. All right, this is a typical website upload. Everybody's got, that I know, has got a pictures folder on their hard drive that has hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures in it. They've gathered from their family photos and their cell phone photos and just lifted off the web. So I've got that too. I'm just taking images at random here. Here's one. Upload it. Now the server's thinking, setting up the database and so forth. Let's see what happens. There we go. There's our first image. It's like something on Mars, some sort of sand dune activity. Here we go. Another image at random. Oh, all right. That's a picture of one of my brothers substituted for, let's see, George, Paul, John, Ringo, I guess. All right, here we go. Another uploaded image coming up. Knitting with dog hair. Boy, sounds great. All right. DR freeze magnets. Upload. International MXP, whatever that is. Oh, it's a kind of a car, truck. Okay, it says if you can upload a text file, you'll be able to see your gallery in just a couple of button pushes. Simple text files, .txt or .text only, no more than 20 kilobytes. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll browse because I have a script here on my C temp folder, video script for this demo. I'm going to upload it. Fast upload. Okay, it says you've uploaded 6 files. We'll set aside space and where you can log in and access your images and construct your gallery. To do this, we need a name, email address, and password. We won't share it with anybody. Okay, make a login. That's the button here. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put in my name. It's my business name. And my email, and it already knows my password from the last time I did this. Here we go. Step 4, confirm your login. This is to show them that they'd better write this stuff down. The ID that they would use to log in is their gallery name, test 19 in this case, and I've got to retype the password. Hopefully I got it right. Remember password? Sure. Uh-oh, the 2 passwords did not match. I knew I'd done that wrong. All right, let's try again. try again. Let's try. There we go. Okay, this is what you see. This is the script that I uploaded, and let me bring up the script. I'll show you how I created it. Well, let's go over what this is first. This brown area is the toolbar. And that's the stuff that you use to make your web pages. It doesn't have stuff all over the sides and the back and down menu items and all sorts of things because it doesn't need them. It makes websites very efficiently and easily with the push of a button or two or three. Below the toolbar, the brownish area, is the page prototype. And the page prototype looks exactly like it will be when you publish it. And right now it is containing all my images and some of my text that I uploaded. And it's sitting here saying, well, do you want to publish this or not? That's what we call fast web page making. But of course, you know, I'm a typical guy. I say, no, I don't like this. I need to do something else with this. So we'll do some things with it. Let me show you some of the interface here. We're going to put an image from the images that I uploaded into one of these divisions here of text. Let's put my brother. Whoops, there he is, but it's pushed the column down and no longer looks like a very good web page. But that's okay because the website making engine adjusts that when you click save. So we're going to click save. And there it is, all back in its nice form again. Another thing I'm interested in is I don't necessarily like the color black. So I'm going to change it using one of these restyle buttons up here. Restyles do everything except change the relationship of the boxes or divisions or partitions to each other. In other words, the menu stays the same. These are little dummy menu items, by the way, that will be replaced by the real pages that when you publish your page, a real page name will be asked of you. And it'll go there, the very first, and then the second, and then the third, and then the fourth. Right now it's a kind of a serial progression which you don't have control of, but as soon as we get this into production, you'll see it become a lot nicer. Okay, so I don't like the way that this looks, so I'm going to press one of these restyle buttons, any old one. Let's press this one. Okay, now what do we have? Well, we've got a couple of things here actually. We've got a couple of layers of images with various opacities, and one image is obviously over or under another, or simultaneously in one of the boxes. I can see my brother peeking out of a bunch of looks like cell phone keys, cell phone menu item icons, and there, that's the page with the menu item icon, and here's the page with my brother, and there he is right behind the thumbnail gallery. Kind of interesting juxtaposition. The nice thing about this gallery maker, not only is it easy to use, but it makes happy accidents which you can choose to save or not save. I kind of like the text. It may be a little bit little, and it's definitely got problems here. So let's push restyle again. The image is intruding on the text. That's the problem at the moment. Well, we could choose one of these background images. Let's go to background and just try to change the background. I like the print. I like the font face, I mean. So let's try just changing the background. Ah, all right. Now you see how we're beginning to drill down on this web page and make it something more like a decision-making process that involves us. But has it been really hard so far? Nah. I just pressed a couple buttons. That's pretty cool. All right, I think that's great, actually. So I'm going to save it. You always have to save these things. And I'm going to publish it. I'm going to show you what happens. Publish. It says the default unpublished page name home is in the box below. If you like that name, just click OK to publish it. If you want this to replace a page already published, fill in that exact page name below. And then it says for new pages, you probably want to replace the default name with one that describes your page. That's probably what we're going to do. And then it says now click OK to publish, and then it says if you need time to think, click cancel. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this page. I'm going to call it Design 1. And I'm going to click OK, and let's see what happens. Ooh, that was fast. All right, it says click the link below to see your newly published page, and it gives the IP address, which is a test server's IP address here in my office. And a button says back to PageMaker, and then it says click here to add it to your bookmarks. So let's take a look at the page first. If you notice up here in the tabs, we're in the tab of the PageMaker. When I click this, we're going to be on another tab, and this is the tab containing your web page that was just published to your folder. And your friends can go to the name of your gallery, type in that IP address with the name of your gallery, and they can visit your website. For investors, this is the logical way of monetizing this kind of engine, is to make it the front end for web hosting. It's a time-honored business model. It's almost foolproof. If you've got something really spectacular, it is foolproof. Okay, so if you notice, the menu has disappeared on our true web page. It's only got one menu item now in the same spot, called Design 1. So that's the way you'd get to the web page itself, right from the web page. The image gallery is intact. Everything works. It's like I've got to do some programming here with the break. But anyway, that's our web page. Let's dismiss it. Let's go back to the page making engine. The simple page maker is what we call it. Simple gallery maker, rather. And let's play around some more. Let's do something even more radical. Let's actually change the way that all these divisions are in relationship to each other. We're going to mix them around like you were spinning a cage full of raffle tickets or something. All right, so, and that's this design button, which is the only button that does this radical change to a page. Usually you get a web layout that you like, and then all your web pages will be using that layout. But there's people out there that want everything new, and here it goes. This is new, and sometimes it's totally ridiculous. But anyway, let's see. Okay, that's not bad. It's legible. There's our image gallery. If you notice, our gallery name, site name, is down below now instead of above. That the horizontal menu has disappeared. What we have here is the image. Large image part of the image gallery function, and down here we have our new menu, which is a right vertical menu with Design 1 as the only page that's different than the dummy page names. And it's really a nice setup. Maybe we could change the background again. Still using some of the backgrounds of the last page. Let's press background, see what happens. Not much. We've got the dog advertisement in the back. Maybe we should just try for a different ways of looking at background. Well, that's nice. It's got the dog in the background of the dog, but that'll change as you do thumb overs. I pressed restyle that time. Here we are without a background except for this little guy down here. We've kept the same layout. That's looking pretty good. It's looking kind of minimalistic except down here. You know, we can change the text too. What we've got here is all caps in one division and caps and small letters in another, and we've got it's like italics in one here. That's what a random engine does. So we'd have to play around with text if we wanted to change that stuff. Oh my. Well, everything's this is a page for the poorly sighted. Everything's really explicit. Let's save it because I don't want to take too much of your time, and publish it. We're going to call it default 2, design 2. Okay. There's our web page. Let's go to it. Here it is. You notice our menu now has 2 links, Design 1 and Design 2. We're going to click Design 1 to see if we can get back to our first page we made. Yeah. And if you look at the first page, you'll see that its menu also has Design 1 and Design 2 now. In fact, friends of yours could be browsing in your website, and if you add a new page, the next page they go to, they'll see a new menu item to click on. So let's go back to Design 2 and see how that works. All right. Okay, we published 2 pages so far, and if I wasn't blabbing so much, it would have taken us, 7 or 8 minutes perhaps. Let's get rid of the website sites, and let's go back to the page making engine and show you a few more things, and then we'll call this demo a wrap. I want to talk about the image library. The image library is a place where you keep track of the images you've uploaded over the months that you've been working on your websites here. This is the home page, in which these will be all images and thumbnails, and you'll be able to look and see what you've got. Another aspect of it is grouping your images into groups, so that when you decide to publish a new page, you don't have the same old images showing on your image gallery or in your background. So you want to be able to name an image group, which we call an image list, and then assign it to the page that you're currently working on. And this is how you name the image group. You uncheck images that you've used in the last page, or selectively, depending on what your mood is, and you check ones that you want to appear on the page that's coming up. Another part of the image library is a place where you can actually upload more images and text, like we did when we just started this website. It's got the familiar browse and upload functions here. And the last part of the image library is the delete images area, where you can delete images. Pretty self-explanatory. These remove the images from your file. You don't delete images from a page that way. These are images that somebody's warned you, hey, you can't publish that image. You got to delete it, get rid of it. But if you're just reusing images, you just uncheck them, keep them in your library, and use them at your leisure. Someday further on, you might need an image for a specific purpose. Okay. Now we go back to Simple Page Maker, which is our landing page. This is the page where you make an instant website with buttons. Now there is a full page maker, which is it's got functions that are I'm still working on, but right now it allows you to play with dimensions of pieces of the web page. Now if we decided that this top area was a little bit too long, I mean really too long, I could cut it off and have it be scrollable by saying, hey guys, we only want this to be 140 pixels high. That's not great, but that you can see, you know, how it works. Whoops, that's too long. Oh, excuse me, I've been working on this other one. I've been using the wrong select box. Uh-oh, all right. Well, all right, I'm showing you how not to make a website here. Let's see what we did now. That's a little bit better, but it needs to be bigger. Those are column heights. I blew it again. Sorry. There we go. Does that fit all our images? Yep. Okay. Now up here, this one's too long. That's section 1. 900 pixels. Nope. Needs to be shorter. .680 is too short. 730 is just about right, as Goldilocks said. Maybe a little bit more. 740. Okay, so you see how you use this particular part of the website thing. Now, another thing about the full page maker is it allows you to do different things over here on the left as you push different buttons. So we're going to go to a different section of it. This is the page elements section. Part of this is a little buggy right now, but it allows you to change image lists and the text files, if you've uploaded more than one, that are behind the page you're working on. So, I mean, if I decided I didn't like this text at all and I wanted to type in text from scratch, I would go none. And this warning says you better, this stuff will disappear from this page if you just selected it, and you can say okay. You can, because your text files are still, if this is one you uploaded and not one you typed in, it's still part of the database and you can still go back to it and load it in other pages. But if this is a page you've worked on, I'll show you. I haven't even shown you how you work on a page yet. You want to save this stuff to a file on your desktop perhaps, because it's irretrievable once you tell the website, unless you've saved the page, it's irretrievable. So I'm going to say, okay, this is fine. We've uploaded this. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you're just, you know, too lazy to upload a text file. I mean, a lot of people like to just type on their word processing machine, and then, you know, it's harder to type right into the web page usually. But this is one of the easiest ways of doing it. This is if you don't want to do crazy things like putting in tables and fancy punctuation commands and so forth. the page maker that's in underneath this, the section of code that's underneath this is TinyMCE, and with an easy manipulation I could give us the ability to make each one of these full of buttons so that you could do all the editing that you wanted in the world in the old-fashioned way. But I think it's much sleeker to just be able to whoops. So you can see we've got a great editing function here. I can Control C in Windows parlance. I can cut and paste from other documents right onto the page. I can cut and paste from Microsoft Word onto the page here. I can go to my desktop. Let's do that. And take some stuff off the end of the file that I'd uploaded and go back and paste it in here. I can take images off the web with the proper permissions and drag them into the page here. From another tab, on your browser. And of course I can take images from your image library. This funny little image gallery is going to be draggable. Let's put the truck in here somewhere. Okay. Now let's move it. Let's see what happens when I save that. That could be a bug. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Let's save our work and see. Yeah, there it is. Okay. That's the machine, pretty much, in a nutshell. I want you to remember especially Simple PageMaker and how easy it was to get 2 in the morning kinds of stuff into your web page. I want you to understand that you can, something I haven't told you yet, you can type different things above different images. Image 1. And as long as you don't go over the thumbnail by mistake, you can save the page. And that particular thing that I typed will only show up when I put a thumbnail, when I put the mouse over the thumbnail that it goes with. So let's say if you had a small e-commerce site, I could sell my brother to have a little, get a plug-in put in this thing and have a little shopping cart button there. I think people in India would really love that, be able to sell things like that easy. Okay, so let's not wave our cursor around. Let's save this and There we are back at the dog. Now, when we're going to go to the beetles, there's my brother for sale. Okay, I think that's it, guys. That's a long enough demo that you probably quit a long time ago, unless you're really interested in investing in this machine. Then you're paying avid attention. This machine is, I'm looking for co-founder, a CEO, and venture capital to take this thing to the web as a startup. Right now it's just a test demo. I'm at daward@att.net. That's about all you need to do is send me an email, and I'll reply if I don't get swamped or if I feel like it. And be sure to look at section 3 of this demo, because in that I'll talk about the startup and how it would be organized and what the market is and some of the philosophy and corporate governance practices that I would institute, or that the CEO would institute, hopefully. I cannot brag about being a completely efficient CEO, so maybe I should leave my big mouth shut. But I am a driven founder, a man who's spent 10 years of his life through thick and thin, typing away, coding away, not using any platform. All the algorithms, the entire blood and bones of this thing is from my own coding head, except for the tiny MCE word processor embedded there. Okay, talk to you soon. Look to section 3 if you want to get more details about the startup.